Broncos country.
Let's ride. We back
Yeah.
What it
once
do?
again. We are back.
What's
Tell
this
a friend.
episode?
I've been doing
62?
61 because the last one was
61?
62.
Got you.
So why does it say 62 up there? Salute. It says 62. Anyway,
Well, it might be
real quick
62.
before we get into
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't even know, bro.
it says 62 up there. But before we get, me and Quincy was just saying the 100th episode has to be live. Whatever, we got to figure it out.
Yeah, you can
On
do it
this
live
episode.
on here. We can do it live on Twitch. We can do it live. There's a couple options. We can do it.
Oh
live
no, I mean like
No,
live.
like we mean in
three of us
person.
together in the same
I
room.
thought you
Yeah,
could
like we
go-
got to make a trip.
Yeah,
we got to make a
I'm
trip
down.
out of it. For sure.
I was with me moving back to Orlando. Me and you, Les, can take a trip to Quincy whenever you want. It's gonna be super
And it's
easy
an
because I live
trip.
there.
Easy trip.
And then when Quincy comes down, we're both gonna be there. So I think it's gonna allow for collaboration a lot more now that I'm moving back on that side.
Yeah. Facts. Dog, I've been doing yoga every morning. Like I've been on it, bro.
That's dope.
And like it really do like just like force you to kind of be more like just quiet and in the zone.
Zen.
And it's been making me like not want to watch like TV after I finish. You know what I mean? Like it's super dope.
Yeah.
And I just been like mad disconnected like ever since I started doing it. You know what I mean? It's been real dope. I've been slacking on yoga for a long time. My flexibility is horrible, so I should have been on. I knew I should have been
Same way.
doing it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I was just being lazy. But now,
Bro, look at it. I actually, like I said, you got me back into it. I have every weekend 4 a.m. to 4:30 stretcher yoga. Like you got to build up that habit. If not, same thing, bro. I can't cut my toenails without like moving my leg all the way over here to the side. Like I can't just bend over and cut my toenails. Pause.
How did you get into it? Just YouTube or what?
so funny enough, my wife had bought a book, a yoga book from Barnes and Noble back in the day. The one that's specifically in Waterford. That's not even there anymore. That's how you know how long ago
Nike
it
store
was.
now.
Yeah, that's wild.
Nike store now, and she just never really got around to it. And like I forgot what reason it was. I think it was just the fact that we just needed to do something active. You know what I mean? Especially like with like the way things have been. Like we just been like mad busy, and like I've been skateboarding again, and that was
Yep.
part of it too. Like just getting into the yoga just to keep my body a little more limber and stuff. But like even with the skateboarding, I'm not able to really like find the time to go to the park so much. You know what I mean? So I wanted to at least do the yoga in the morning, and I'm riding the bikes with Josias too. But I don't even know how we got into it, but we've been doing it from that book though. It's just like a book that gives you like a little introduction to like the concepts behind it, breathing techniques, like what kind of mind.
That's what it's
state you should
about.
be in.
It's about learning how to breathe, and in addition to get the blood flowing for the flexibility for sure. But that prevents accidents. Like your body's super tight, pause, and you skateboard and you fall. That risk for injury is so much higher than if your body was a little more flexible and limber, like you said. You could just like roll out of it.
And even with the skateboarding, like so much of it is bringing your legs up. You know what I mean? Hey yo, but that thing is a lot easier. if
We
you're
all over the
flexible,
place with this one, huh?
That flexibility
No,
adds a lot.
You know, I heard a story about Tom Brady, and it was like a big linebacker dude. Y'all will know him. I just can't remember his name, but he said maybe it was Warren Sapp. I don't remember, but he said like when he hit Tom Brady, it felt like you smacked the pillow and landed on the pillow, because the second you touched him, his body would just go like limber, and that's why he was so except for the leg injury, like he was so reliable, sustainable, because he learned how to take the hits and put his body in a position where he's not gonna, because people kind of go stiff, and then that's when you fall, and that's when you fucking break.
Not specifically the flexibility, but that concept that you're talking about, and just that limberness that he has. He credits that specifically as to what extended his career.
Yeah,
and made him
longevity
so
of it.
effective in his later years, like because he had a big focus on that, like flexibility and like it's funny because Skip Bayless used to always say it, like the elongating of the muscles as opposed to like working out to like make them pump or whatever. Like it's like a whole like science behind it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, yoga's important. I think one thing, the next step above yoga that I never tried that I heard was just as gratifying almost is meditation. I don't think my brain is that peaceful though.
It can get there. I'm on and off of meditation for sure.
Yeah, you tried it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I used to do sleep meditation as well. You know what I'm saying? So I would do like regular meditation and then like basically like meditation to like go into deep sleep and stuff like that. And it works. It definitely works.
Yeah, there's like I've heard I haven't like tried any of it, but I did hear that there's a certain kind of meditation techniques that can put you into that REM, which is that really deep sleep where you have like them real crazy dreams and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Talked
what we
about
never
that
got
before,
into.
Joe too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it about that we were talking
So
about?
the
that you
lucid
brought it up?
dreaming
The lucid
is going.
dreaming. Yep.
So you have to go through sleep paralysis in order to get to the lucid dreaming. So there's steps like where you have to lay flat on your back. It has to be completely dark. And instead of like just closing your eyes and go to sleep, you kind of have to like close your eyes and look at the inside of your eyelids. Like that's how it works because it's keeping your brain alert. Like you're forcing your brain to still do something. But at the same time, your brain is sending these messages like, nah, this person's falling asleep. Like, so it's the mixture of falling asleep and being awake while you're falling asleep. And I do it all the time. Like I get caught in sleep paralysis, bro, and I have to like fight myself to get out. I'm like, come on, just wake up. Or like you literally feel like someone's just holding you down. Can't lift my arm up, can't scream. Sometimes I try to scream.
When I was a kid, for sure. When I was like I want to say it was like 6th, 7th grade. I remember getting that.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Like sometimes I do it accidentally on purpose, just because like if it's a slow day at work and it's like 5 a.m, like I'll lay down on the couch and I don't have to stay awake just in case I get like a message or something. But at the same time, I'm tired, so I'm falling asleep and I'll catch myself right in the sleep paralysis right there all the time, bro.
That's crazy.
I try to like yell at my wife, like, wake me up. Yo, it feels like you're like wrapped tightly in like a lab coat and you're just like trying to break out of it, like, ah. And I finally wake up and like stand up, like I'm not falling back asleep no more. I hate that. But yeah, I read there's certain, so what it is you don't know when you're in a dream, right? That's the hardest part. When you know you're in a dream, that's when you can control it. But think about it. We have unrealistic ass dreams, but it feels so real, right? Like you're really in it, like it's really happening. But when you think about it, when you wake up, like there's no way that would ever happen in real life. Like, but when you're in it, you don't know.
Right.
You do these little exercises throughout the day, right? And you like pretty much just try to put your this is like one of the examples of the one. You try to put your finger through your hand. Do it a few times throughout the day, like just to randomly do it. So when you're in your dream and you try to put your finger through your hand, it's going to go through your hand. And that's how you're going to know you're in a dream. So it's literally building up a subconscious message to yourself. So when you're in your dream, you trigger it. It lets you know you're in your dream. You know you're in your dream, and then you literally control. That's when people say they have like the out-of-body experiences, like they're flying. I have flying dreams all the time, bro, just flying through my neighborhood. It's nuts. That's all the stuff that I was telling you guys about before that I purposely try to do sometimes just to see if I can do it. There's people who do it.
Doodle. Nah, but it'd be super dope being just tapped into like those types of things and just understanding like the places your mind can go and how deep really it is and just bro, like I've been just on like a crazy like ever since I stopped watching the Larry Sanders show, bro, I haven't been wanting to watch nothing. Like I just like either keep the TV off, but if I watch them, I'll watch like some crazy like science thing, you know what I mean? And then like I've been like watching stuff about like black holes, quantum physics, you know, the ancient aliens thing.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm just like kind of like taking all that in and even with like what you said, and it's just kind of crazy like how much there really is like out there to kind of give you like that perspective, you know what I mean? And even like one of the things I was listening to was this guy that was basically like an astrophysicist, and he was just saying that one of the things that separates humans from everybody else is like that awareness of time and the like awareness that there's more going on, you know what I mean? Like the concept of tomorrow and what's coming tomorrow is like one of the main things that separates us from like other animals on the planet. You know what I mean? Because most animals, they don't have a concept of that.
Yeah, they're not pushing
tomorrow.
shit off to tomorrow. They're not like, oh, we'll go pick some fruit tomorrow. That's why that movie Limitless was so big to me, because we only use like 15% of our brains or whatever they say. And just imagine being able to unlock your entire brain and completely control everything. Like, who knows, bro?
Yeah, no, that movie was hard.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot of limitations even that we put on ourselves, like even subconsciously, like even the things that we eat, the kind of life that we're leading. You know what I mean? Because that's like a big thing too. That like I'm always like hyper aware of. It's like at every part of my day, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, what am I really doing? Because I heard Joe Rogan talking about this. Like, if you put the weeks of your life like on like a paper or like a poster or something, like it's all there, bro. And you look at it, and it's not that much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really like you could cross some things off like every week, and you see like, oh my gosh, bro, like this is kind of crazy. And like to some people that might be like a crazy concept, but to me it's just like the idea that, bro, like you got to be meaningful and intentional like with stuff that you do. You know what I mean? Like the more you even dig into like all the stuff that we're discovering that is not even like, we're discovering stuff that's still just like scratching the surface of what's in the realm of possibility. You know what I mean? So it's just so much. To me, it's like it's so much craziness that it's like I don't have time to be like trapped in the minutia of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like how I like envision stuff.
Completely agree.
And that'd be like that constant balance that I feel like people like us, like as far as everybody that's living right now, like the world that we was like pretty much given is so much different as far as how we lead our lives as, previous generations, even up to 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like so much has changed and so much is important now that's really nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's kind of like that whole like Bitcoin and NFT thing. It's like I never argued with the money part of it or whatever, or people make money. Like I don't get into that kind of stuff because to me, I don't care about money that much. You know what I mean? So to me, it's more like, wow, like we really just created stuff out of thin air and assigned it a value that's not even a thing. You know what I mean? Like there's so many other things going on and so many other things that are to me more valuable that we're putting to the side to just create these things that really hold no value and putting them on a pedestal. Like it's crazy to me. You know what I mean? And that's what happens a lot. Just even with money, like I was saying, like obviously we're in that situation where everybody needs it and we need to attain as much as we can to be at the most peace that we can be. But there's ways to do it that's intentional and that aligns with like what you're really here to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Facts. It's also about what we prioritize. Like I feel like now things, and it kind of comes back to us full circle, which is why we don't get the quality of entertainment that was once provided. Like obviously we have more access to entertainment. There's way more avenues, but if you look at, for example, cartoons, you know what I'm saying, from the 90s and 2000s, today's cartoons don't compare. You know what I'm saying? It's like we just, the lack of appreciation for certain things kind of trickles over where it's like even creators don't even put the same amount of effort into creating. You know what I mean?
The formulas too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rarely are people like, we all get trapped in the thing where like rarely are we just creating just to create, just to make something that we truly enjoy and put out. And if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Like everybody's so attached to the numbers, everybody's so attached to the impressions, the algorithm, all those details. And I do it. Everybody does it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, 99% of the people that you hear that really like took it to like a certain level, at the end of the day, they just said, bruh, I'm going to get really good at what I do and do it the way that I imagine in my head that I want to do it. And that's what I'm going to care about. That's what Kanye did. He wasn't trying to, none of his music, he was trying to make any of it to impress anybody. He just had a sound in his head, and he wanted it to sound a certain way, and he wasn't going to stop until it sounded the way that he wanted it to sound.
Yeah.
That's why he don't care about busting down on royalties and splits with people, because if he feels like the song needs this one person to say one word, and that person is going to ask for 15% on the song, and that's what he has to do to make it happen, and that because that's how he hears the song, bro, he'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say, like, that's the approach I had with when I started creating these mixes. I remember, and then you asked me, it was off the show, but you asked me if anybody's like talked about it and stuff. Like, I couldn't care less about anybody thinks until I think it's good. So you guys can sit here and tell me how good you think it is. If I don't think it's good, it's not good yet. And when I get there, I'll do it. So I'll listen. I'll talk. If anybody talks about it, I'm down to hear it. But I know what I need to work on, and until I hear it how I think it should sound, what everybody else says is not going to matter to me, even if it's good feedback.
Yeah, and I even feel like a lot of people don't even know how to give correct feedback when it comes to things like that, because you always have to take into account all the variables in the situation that you're aware of. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like with music, anything like that. Like, if you have a new artist and it's like their first time in the studio, you're not judging it on a scale that you would judge like one of your favorite artists' music dropping. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're in an era now that you have to show the growth too. You know what I mean? Before, artists was getting polished, and then they was coming out with just their most, like, the first thing you heard from an artist was their most fire shit, like their best produced, most fire, like the project they've been working on their whole life. It's not like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that detail, I feel like it gets lost on a lot of people when they're giving their feedback. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you got to consider those kind of things, like what position they're at. Like, whenever I give feedback on stuff like that, I'm just more looking for if you got the ear, and if I can hear this becoming something dope. You know what I'm saying? Because I know in the very beginning stage, it's not going to be that finished product, that polished, like, oh my gosh, this is, DJ Jazzy Jeff level. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. You got to look at it on the scale and project it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was the best advice you probably gave me before I even, like 6 months before I did it. Like, you're like, we all know you're not like a seasoned DJ who's been DJing his whole life, doing this shit forever. Like, we're not expecting to hear something come out like that, and that's why I was like, yeah, I'm really not. So, so that's kind of like a bar that I set myself. I need to lower, but still, just knowing the quality of ear that I have. And how little shit just would trigger me, and if somebody else was doing it, when I'm doing it, it triggers me too. I'm like, nah, I can't do that, bro. Like, I should have done that different. But at the same time, it's a process, and the more you do it,
but you definitely need to stay tapped into that feeling, because that's what's gonna, like, that's the spark. That's part of why your mixes are good. You know what I'm saying? Because even though you're at this point, you're still trying to make sure it sounds on the level of what other people are doing, and you're conscious of that, and you're chasing that. You always got to chase that. You know what I mean? Not because you're gonna want to sound like somebody else, or you want to quote unquote be on that level. You just want to be that comfortable with yourself.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's what a lot of people don't like. I feel like comedians are real good about recognizing that in other comedians. Like, a lot of times they don't really envy the jokes. They don't really envy the wordplay. Like, it's not the stuff that somebody would think they envy from another comedian. A lot of times they envy their poise on stage, they envy their
the delivery
language.
of it.
Exactly. They envy the way they're able to maintain their tone. You know what I mean? What they envy is those little in between things that makes them them. And it's like, nah, bro, you're gonna have those things for you. As long as you're good, those things are gonna just build for you. You know what I mean? And then people are going to look at you and be like, oh, dang, like, they're going to envy those little in-between things for you, and you're not even going to recognize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about being an artist, bro. Like, you're always chasing that next level, and then, like, you don't ever recognize that you're on that next level because you're still looking at the next level.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And somebody might be looking at you like, dang, bro, like, you on one, and it's like, nah, I'm not on one because I'm not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of artists that you'll hear them after they make like a certain album, like they're not that they're content, but they know that they made a masterpiece, so they're creating from a different place. You know what I mean? They're that's why like a lot of artists sometimes they'll even experiment and like you'll like Kendrick does it a lot. Like he'll come out of left field with like the next thing. But dog, he's a real artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not gonna make another Good Kid, Mad
He does it
City.
for a living.
Yeah, and he's not gonna make another Good Kid, Mad City. Why? Because he already made it, bro. He made
Yeah.
that masterpiece. It captured that feeling. It
Not
captured
give it to you again.
his story. You know what I mean? He don't got another story, bro. He's Kendrick. That's his story. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Everything.
Everything else he's gonna
That
give you is
fuel
gonna be
changed
another
after
thing.
that.
Exactly. It's like the same thing with 50. Like, back in the day, like I feel like it's definitely changing now, which is super dope. I think the hip hop 50 anniversary is like a thing that's been opening people's eyes. But like, a few years
Yeah, I got some
ago,
homies going to the show.
yeah, man, that's
Nice.
dope. But a few years ago, people was talking about 50 like he was washed, like, oh, he can't make music now. But it's like, why? Like, why would he need to?
Yeah.
Why does he need a show that he can hang with people now? Like he already did a masterpiece.
And
He
you know
already
what's
dominated
funny?
His era.
It sucks how they do that to like I think majority hip hop industry. Because the R&B industry, you got 112, Boyz II Men, all these fools touring with their old music. You got U2 being the first people to have a show at the MSG Sphere playing their old music. Like these people are just making the rest of the living, never have to make new music again, just singing their classic shit. If you have classic shit, you can ride the rest of your life out with that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's the culture, bro. At the end of the day, it's the culture because we just eat our own, bro. That's how it be. Like, it's something that me and Quincy have talked about before. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but we've definitely talked about it with you, Joe, and just me and him. Like, just going to the studios and coming with an energy of like, yo, what's up? Like, we're all artists that are on the same level trying to go for the same goal. So like, what can we do? And everybody standoffish. Oh, nah, like. People feel kind of I'm not gonna say Hollywood, but like they just look at themselves a certain way and they feel like they have to put a lot of parameters around like how they operate, like as far as collaborating or like things like that. But it's like, bro, like we all artists on the same plane. We could all help each other. This ain't no, we don't gotta define what it is as far as like artists being just friendly, period. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't have to have a definition. It could just be, yo, maybe I'll throw some feedback on what you're doing. You take it or you not take it. No hard feelings. It's like different little things that can kind of like strengthen a community of artists that a lot of people avoid. And it even kind of leads into like with the yoga thing that I was talking about. It just like really gels with just like the spirit of how do you say that? Like just that spirit of being more focused on your own. Like it kind of puts you more in that zone of not like really trying to lean on other people, not really trying to be on some like group think kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, I'm getting in the zone in my mind so I can be laser focused on what I'm doing in my day. You know what I'm saying? So to really just break through to that next level and like applying that to what you're doing, if that community is not there, is like mad crucial. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like a lot of people sometimes they get stuck in the looking for support stage. You know what I mean? Like I'm just and like I said, it happened with me too. You know what I'm saying? You get to a certain level with your artistry and you're like, oh man, like I put in all this work. Where the people at? But it's like you on the right path. You're doing what you need to be doing. Just keep doing that. The support will get there when whoever those people are feel like it's warranted. You know what I mean? Obviously, sometimes you would want certain people to jump on a little sooner, but that's Jay's journey, not yours. You know what I mean? What you're doing
Facts.
is you're trying to get to that next point to make those demographics happen with what you're doing and really be focused on what you're doing because you're putting that much work in. You're really coming with a certain point of view that's unique and it's a dope sound or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's facts. Like, I don't know, man. I think that's one of the things that's like, I feel like you got to kind of grow into, or at least be taught it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that go their entire lives and don't get to that place, And I I guess I could say thankful that I've gotten to a point of at least recognition, even if I'm not like super intuitive when it comes to it. Like, at least a point where I can recognize, like, individual thought. You know what I'm saying? Like just being aware of like group thinking situations and not getting caught up with like, the cancel culture, I guess you could call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's such a group think, thing that like people don't even realize that that's being a part of group thinking. Like, that's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird, man. It's really weird.
Yeah. I feel like it has a lot to do with just like, at least for me, like how I kind of manage all that is like constantly checking myself. You know what I mean? Like always having that mantra in your head and knowing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just that thing I was talking about in the beginning, like all the crazy things that happen, all the things that go on, all the things that can like things that we're on the cusp of achieving as just as people, and just breakthroughs that have happened and will happen, how much ahead we are now compared to, let's say, 100 years ago. Like even the fact that we live in a time where there was so much technological advancement compared to other eras, you know what I mean? Like it's just a crazy thing to think about, and it's like always kind of keeping that in scale, so you're always thinking to yourself like, all right, there's so much going on. What am I doing to make sure that what I got going on is gonna fulfill me to the best ability that I can? You know what I mean? Because it's something we talk about all the time. Like at the end of the day, like you're the only one worrying about you. And again, this is not like a bitterness type thing. This is not like a oh fuck everybody type thing. It's just understanding that you even fail yourself, so people are gonna fail. That's
Big
what
time.
it is. That's all it, like you gotta
I let myself down all the time.
all the time, bro. We all let ourselves down all the time.
Yeah.
So for us to think that people aren't gonna let us down, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's literally crazy. And I feel like a lot of people just don't understand that detail. And part of it is the how do you say it? Like the obliviousness of not knowing that you fail yourself as well. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Nobody's, maybe some people are, whatever, but nobody's maximizing their time to their best ability all the time and just always making the right decisions. You know what I mean? There's always something that's gonna fall by the wayside. Me and Joe was talking about it before about Rodney Mullen. I shared something, I believe, on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, and he commented on it. And Rodney Mullen's just like a skateboarder from back in the day. He was one of he invented a lot of the moves. Like I believe he was part of the crew that invented the ollie, like the basic movement skateboarding. Like he invented a lot of the flip tricks. Like he really is like a skateboarding savant. But he'll say himself in interviews that to get to that level of mastery on the skateboard, he had to let a lot of things slide, like time with family, you know what I'm saying? Just other avenues, just other things that he just didn't dedicate any time to because he was focused on mastering that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's
his story is crazy. And that's exactly what, like, I talked about her stories, and it's, raised on a farm. His older sister was a surfer. But his dad was like skateboarding, like no way. And he's like, nah, he's like, I fuck with this. Like, this is it for me. This skateboarding is it. And it wasn't until he actually started proving to his own family how good he was that they were like, all right, we're going to ride the skateboard thing out. But that was the farthest thing they ever expected him or wanted him to do. And if he didn't follow through on his own without the support of his family, we wouldn't have the kind of skateboard culture there is today. That's for sure.
And I'm going to say this about Rodney Mullen, dog. Rodney Mullen is the only skateboarder, the only one that I know, like, I don't care if you like skateboarding or not. If I show you his best clips, you're going to be mind blown.
Bro, I'm going to send a clip in this chat. Yeah.
He's the only one. There's other ones that are great. I love, for example, like Paul Rodriguez, I love. Nigel Huston, I love. There's a lot of great skateboarders. And they do amazing things that, like, if you're a skateboarder
you're not gonna say Tony Hawk.
Skateboarding fan, you appreciate Tony Hawk. You appreciate it as a skateboarding fan. But Rodney Mullen is one that you don't have to know anything about skateboarding to see him do what he does and be like, dog, this guy is ridiculously good. And
he did it like at 16 years old, bro. Like it's nuts. I have one clip. This is my favorite Rodney Mullen clip. He skated like that. That deck was part of his body. Like
Bro, it's crazy.
he couldn't even fall off. You couldn't even see him falling off of it.
Bro, you're talking about a guy that, and this is the crazy thing too, like, and it's something that kind of has to do with physics too, because this guy mastered the physics of him on a skateboard. Like he mastered it to a degree that you have to dedicate so much time and have the aptitude to be able to do what he does. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's
You got to
something
have the
that,
vision and know it's going to be bigger than anybody sees it as.
yeah, it's something that like to a certain point, bro, it's like, it's like defying gravity type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and just like defying the laws of balance. Even like you're like, bro, how do you have that much balance? That doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, Rodney Mullen is a GOAT for sure. Yeah, I worked, and I could probably say this because no one's gonna tap in who knows that, but yeah, I worked with his estranged sister. She was an older lady. She was actually my mom's boss for a while. And I random, like, because she would never say it, and then randomly we're like in her office talking about, I don't know how it came up, but skateboarding came up. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you guys know Rodney Mullen?" She's like, "Yeah, that's my brother." And I was like, "No way!" Like everybody hit Google. She's like, "The only way you're gonna know he's my brother is in his book. He wrote a book about his life, and that's the only place he talks about her. They weren't close at all." He had the older sister who did the surfing, but she was a farm lady. She's like a big equestrian lady. She like owned her whole life is horses, so she actually stuck to the farm life, while the older sister and Rodney went to skating and surfboarding and kind of chose that life. So that's why and the parents ended up favoring that side because of it. Yeah, it's crazy stories.
Yeah, it's crazy because he even has a thing where like I heard Tony Hawk talking about it. Like he doesn't even allow people to video him that much. Like he's very picky about when he lets people video him skating. Like he's a very just interesting cat, bro. Like and he's just like
Yeah,
you see the way
being
he
one of the
talks about
biggest
things.
people, and nobody really knows him because he doesn't care that people know him. But if you're in the game, you know who he is.
Yeah, facts. Shout out to Rodney Mullen, man. And like I said, if you don't even have to like anything about skateboarding, just look at Rodney Mullen highlights on YouTube, and you're gonna be like, dog, what? Like you're not even gonna understand what this man is doing.
I'm gonna send y'all one in the chat once we're done here. But so what's up? Let's catch up. So we're 2 weeks since our last recording. Quincy's been on the road again.
Yes,
How
sir.
that trip come up? I feel like that trip came out of nowhere. Like, when did you decide to have that trip?
Nah, so it's been planned. It's just, the year's gone by fast, man. It's been
You had it planned from like mad months ago, right?
yeah.
It's like a calendar type thing.
I mean, it's actually my fiance's family. They own like 3 timeshares, and so this specific timeshare, we go to every year. Unless something's come, like for example, next year's the wedding. We're not doing it next year, but every year they have like basically 2 weeks of the timeshare space, and it's basically like 16, if it beds like 16 people. Like it's huge. And so we do that, and yeah, so this was that time. We stayed up in Maryland with our family for the first week, and then we went to the timeshare for the second week. So today we literally just got back home a couple hours ago. I'm still trying to transition into like being back home right now. So
yeah, you just hit your house. You haven't even been home for like 3 hours in 2 weeks.
Facts, man. Facts. But it was cool, man. The drive, like, I'm usually good with drives. Like, I don't mind driving places. So from us, it's about 10 hours. And the drive there and back, both of them were pretty smooth, man. We just like basically put our phones, like, how you have like the little docks or whatever. We put our phone on the dock the night before. We'll download like a series or something, and we just let that thing play on the surround sound speakers and just vibe, through the whole way. So it's cool.
Yeah, we use our thing is when we go drive. So when we go like to Laughlin or like Park City or like any of those hiking places like over there, we do a murder podcast.
Nice.
Because it's
Nice.
like you're driving, so you're focused in, bro. It's just like
It takes
it's
you
just
in.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy, and it makes the trip go like so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But timeshare has a little stigma behind it, and my wife works in timeshare. But people who actually use it,
Mm-hmm.
like y'all, and actually like take trips and use it, it's worth it, man. It's
It's
definitely
worth
worth
it.
it.
And not only that, but it's actually a great investment if you use it right. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, they
Exactly.
don't even realize like that they can actually rent out their timeshare, you know what I mean? And make way more money off of
Yeah.
that like an Airbnb almost, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely a dope little investment.
But I'm not gonna lie, like I was talking about this with my father-in-law recently too. Like part of that stigma that is on the timeshare, I feel like is also because like people don't realize that a timeshare is for people with like disposable income, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
disposable
Yeah.
income. Like if all your
You have
money's
to use
counted,
it.
you're not supposed to spend money on luxury stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
that's kind of like something that's lost like on like a lot of people nowadays. I feel like that it's like, bro, if you're on like a stringent budget, you don't have room in there for luxury things. You know
Bruh,
what I mean?
I had a buddy come in town, and we were driving down the strip, and there's this place called like the Aztec Inn Casino, which is like, bro, it's like the Wentworth of casinos, because you guys know exactly what I'm talking
I've been
about.
there before. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, but that's what he said. Like, if you're coming there and your budget is like that, like you're not even gonna be able to walk through Vegas.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah, all if that's your full budget is getting in that room and affording that, then you're not, Vegas is gonna hit you, dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like at the shop, bro. I got a sign shop with my father-in-law, and we do wraps and stuff like that. And sometimes people come and they're like, "Yo, I want to wrap my car. How much is it?" It's X amount. Oh my gosh! And how long does it take? 3 days. Oh my gosh, bro. If you don't got that money and you can't be without a car for 3 days, you should not be here.
You're
looking
not
to
be
get
worried
wrapped.
about getting a sign on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Bro, I've had people come and like get some kind of customization done to like either their car or whatever, like get some kind of like item that like for example like, oh, I want to get like ceramic tints on my car. All right, bet. Oh, but the back window don't go down and you got to do this to turn it on. Like,
Bro,
you
fix
gotta
that
spend
first.
$400. $400 you about to spend that if you just put it into this car, this thing is gonna be running like nobody's business, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, people just like I said, it's a little rant based off the timeshare thing, but it's like, bro, if it's not for you, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta like. That's another thing too. Like, I always find funny like people that like leave bad reviews on places or like go back to places that they've had bad experiences at. It's like, bro, like go somewhere else. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, or like people that argue with somebody about a price or something, bro. If you don't like the price, go somewhere else.
On the
Or
way
do it
here, I was
yourself.
imagining $75.
Yo, facts, bro. I be hearing some crazy stuff, yo. Some crazy stuff.
Why'd
And I
you
just
But
imagine
but
that?
but that also goes back to the point too of like just like I said, what people prioritize and like for example, if your car window ain't working in Florida where it's 108 degrees and you're trying to wrap it with $400 when you could be fixing your window, your priorities are obviously not where they need to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And it's funny too, cause like, there's a lot of people that will come to try to like start a business. You know what I mean? Or like, that they got an idea for something, they're trying to get off the ground or whatever, and you just see like so transparently how little people know about business. How many people think that just because they have an idea and say, "Hey, I'm doing this now," that everybody's just obligated to do what
Buy
they
in.
go to their business or recommend them without a track record. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much funny stuff, and it's funny because like people find out about the shop and everything. Oh man, like why you don't advertise that? Oh, this is not, it's like, bro, because I do
You don't need to.
business with business people. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be, not that I don't need to be, but I'm blessed enough that I've put enough work in that I don't need to be chasing, every single dollar and trying to do anything with anybody, or I have to advertise it and try to get people that I know to be, patrons to my business. Like, nah, bro, I'm not in that situation. This is this is a professional thing. If anybody needs anything, this is the number to the shop.
And to be honest, what I call it's not a social media business.
Yeah, and there is aspects of like there's a lot of people that run it that way. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that we do that, you know, you can do those little videos and advertising and stuff. But the thing is this, bro, the type of people that want to do that kind of stuff, you know, get stripes on their hood, you know, do the window tinting and stuff is the people that I'm talking about. People that don't have disposable income trying to do disposable income things. And it's like, yes, this sounds expensive to you because this is not in your price range, bro. You should not be worrying about this. You know what I'm saying? It's like the people that go to Louis Vuitton and like, damn, this shirt's expensive, bro. You're not supposed to be in the store, bro. You're supposed to be at the store, you know, a couple blocks down from this mall, bro.
My dog said you're supposed to be dressing for less at Ross.
You feel me, like, bro? and I'm not hating on that because I'm the type of person, bro. I like to live below my means, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, I like to be low maintenance. I don't like to have a lot of expenses. I don't like to have to worry about a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very simple guy. I don't need nothing crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm not knocking people that don't go to Louis V or whatever because I don't got nothing Louis Vuitton. Like, not one item, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, for me, that doesn't have value to me. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
I'm the same way.
Clothing is clothing, bro. Like I could finesse a.
Do you ever
I could go to
see
Target
like
right
that
now
shit?
and finesse a fit.
Tell me this: you ever look online, you see some shit, and it influence you? Like, maybe I need to have like a nice fit. Do you ever get that feeling?
I've always been very like. I'm not gonna say that I've been like my choices have always been the best, but I've always been into fashion and like I've always been real big on wearing stuff that other people don't have. Like that's why I'm real big on like hitting pop-up shops when I'm somewhere. I like to hit obscure things. That's why I like those like random racks that have stuff that's like, you know, one of each. Like you might not find your size because they just got one there. You know what I mean? Like
Nordstrom rack.
Exactly, bro. I like to look at the stuff that's discounted because nobody likes it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, how? Like, what is this? And why do people not like it? Like, oh no, I could rock that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always, one thing like as far as fashion goes, like something that I always enjoy is when somebody compliments something that I'm wearing and like they don't know where I got it from. And I know that it was just some like obscure find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, dang, that shirt is dope. Like, where you got that?
That's what people. Thrift shop a lot, and they like thrift shopping and finds a bunch of. I used to work at Goodwill. That's crazy. Thing. I used to work at Goodwill Megatron. I'm not even gonna talk about those stories yet. We'll say that for another day. That boy, that's the first job I ever got him, and that's the first job I ever wanted to get him fired from. This guy ruined everything. I can't believe it. Yo, this guy would just like hang around and like shoot water guns at me mid shift. Like, bro, come on.
Yo, he's funny because that's Joe's boy. Like they're real close. And when me and Joe started getting cool, I ended up like when I realized that they were mad cool, I'm like, dang, that's funny because the guy he's talking about is a guy that he was like there was a period of like maybe like 2 or 3 years that we would like me and my boys from the neighborhood, we would go around and play ball like in different places. And him and his boys, Joe's boy Megatron. He would always be going to the places we was hooping at, and he would go with his squad. Yeah. And they were like our arch nemesis, like everywhere we went, because I'm not even going to say, nah, bro, fuck that. I'm not going to say arch nemesis because we used to fucking scrape them every single time, dog. Every time, bro. And he used to get so mad, bro. He used to get furioso, dog. He was funny, though. He was, it was always fun when he was on the court, bro, because he was.
But you know, he's the one who lived in Wentworth.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that you used to be in Wentworth.
He's the one who lived in Wentworth.
Yeah, because he used to pop up at the court sometimes.
Exactly. So he was the one who had the apartment first. So like, you know, your first friend that has their own place, you run up in that bitch all day. And that is why, like, I know Wentworth because when Jay lived there, we would spend day and night there playing Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. That's when he was 18 and he just had his daughter and he was separated from her mother. So like, it'd be the four of us babysitting the daughter playing Crash Bandicoot every night. Whoever the night he had his daughter, and so we always just play ball there. I always suck, so I call myself like I'm the assist guy, an assistant rebound guy. I put a body on the guy, but I couldn't get a layup for shit. My shots, when I make them, they're nice, but that's why. We used to go to the lofts. We used to go to that one behind Publix. I used to travel Victoria Pines. We used to play ball there.
Funny, bro.
All those spots. That's what I'm saying. We were probably in the same spot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember Gary, your other boy, because he used to bring that big ass speaker. So that's why I remembered him, because he used to always bring the speaker and he used to always play like old school hip hop. So I always used to like when he came in and played music.
Yeah.
But, bro, I'm telling you, dog, I was scraping them, dog. I feel bad for Gary, dog, because I know Gary had a guard me, bro.
Yeah, I remember the last time I played with him, it was everybody there. It was Jay, it was Frank there, it was Gary there, and they started beefing. I was like, bro, we were like in our 30s by then. Yeah, it was definitely the last 10 years we did that.
That's
sure.
how my boys are.
Like, how are we still beefing in our 30s? Like,
shit, bro.
It's never gonna end, bro. That's why I don't care enough about fucking playing basketball to fight y'all right now. Anything else, maybe, but not playing basketball.
Yeah, I cared about basketball a lot, but not to fight. Like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did get in a few basketball fights, but 99% of the time it wasn't me. Like it was just, bro, I'm telling you, dog, I used to cook people so much they used to get pissed, bro, and try to fight me just because I was fucking them up, bro.
I believe that.
I was fucking them up, bro. Basketball was like the one that got away from me, bro. I swear, dog, if I had like 2 or 3 more inches, I would have.
Hey.
I would at least been a local college legend. You heard me?
You would have been a ball and an architect. Those are your two missed trains.
Yo, speaking of architect, we could wrap up with this, man. Like, I've been having a hella hard time getting contractors to show up to the salon, because I know I mentioned to the people on the podcast that me and my wife opening a salon, and bro, we've been stuck for like 3 months just trying to get reliable contractors to show up. Like, bro, to give y'all a little backstory, I'm not a haggler. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you give me a price, I pay that price, because for me, I don't haggle either, like for my services. Like if I give you a price, that's the price. I'm not going down. I already calculated how much it's going to be to make it worth it for me. We're not going back and forth. So I extend that same courtesy to people I do business with. If I don't like the price, I'm just not going to do it with you. That's it. So, bruh, I've had 4 plumbers that have given me prices that I've agreed with, and they literally disappear when when I'm asking them to pay the deposit, bro, for me to pay a deposit. So that's a whole nother thing. But we finally on the schedule with the plumber. Finally got the architect, because we need like a certain permit to whatever. It's a whole bunch of little, county stuff or whatever. But we're very.
That takes time, bro. And I think that is one of the things that draws certain contractors. Because I told you, me and my father was in the contractor business for 10 years. We had a business, and it was all that. It was pretty much renovation, construction. And if it's not in the code, bro, they're not even gonna help you try to get it in code. But like that's probably why he gave you mad dabs, because if that shit's in code and they don't got to do that work, they're riding with you. Let's go. Let's get it done. That's the easy part.
Yeah, facts, man. Like I literally did as much as I could. Like I'm the type of person, bro, that I'm gonna do everything in my power to do everything I can myself, and I'm only gonna use people if I literally have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I promise you, if the plumbing thing was something that I could have done myself and got the permit or whatever, bro, I would have been on YouTube for a week, YouTube University, and then I would have jumped in there with the pipes like Mario. Hey, yo.
Shout out to that. No, so what I just said, oh shit. Yo, for the first time ever, there's a hurricane hitting the West Coast, and it's pouring outside. It looks crazy out there right now. Yeah, there's literally I went golfing this morning and they held us back for like an hour because of it. It was terrible. So I just did the range instead. But there's a crazy ass storm here in the West. Yo, but global warming. Global warming.
We should tap into that and lead that into a whole bunch of crazy conspiracy theories and stuff about things like that. I'm ready for
the alien talk. The alien talk
I'm ready too, dog.
I'm ready for the alien talk. They're coming.
They're here, bro.
Alien stays but us too.
It's
You
me.
hear me? The aliens be like, stay, but